Is the climate crisis real or just a scare to make us care? The climate crisis is one of the greatest challenges facing humanity today. The Earth's average temperature is rising at an alarming rate, and this is causing a range of devastating impacts. In this video, we will be discussing the causes and impacts of the climate crisis, as well as the solutions that we can implement to address it. To get a better understanding of the causes of the climate crisis, we spoke with Nico Gabriel Aquino, a biology graduate and an environmental advocate based in Tacloban City, a city severely hit by the Super Typhoon Yolanda last 2013.
Can you tell us more about the causes of the climate crisis?
May dakit kasi siring nga climate change tungod hiton certain activities kay naturally it earth na undergo talaga tiyan climate change on a natural process, pero anthropogenic activities hiyatot nag-speed up iton nga process.
Before we talk about how climate crisis is affecting humanity, let's first step back and learn about greenhouse gases. Without the impact of greenhouse gases, the Earth would not be a hospitable place to live. The heating of Earth or global warming is supposed to be a natural phenomenon. The issue we are currently facing is the increased greenhouse effect, or the fact that more greenhouse gases are accumulating in the atmosphere and trapping more heat than normal.
Greenhouse gases are those gases, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, water vapor. They're the ones needed by the Earth to keep itself warm. Kay kunwari greenhouse gases, kon kita yan na, ice age kita. Pero kailangan ma-maintain ito nga balance. Ang mga activities nga nag-introducing greenhouse gases or industrial activities, burning of fossil fuels, yun yung primary. The carbon dioxide emissions. Also responsible din dyan ang large-scale deforestations. Conversion of land, mga land use conversions, ganon. Agricultural uses, mga wastes coming from industrial activities. Yan yung primary contributors ng greenhouse gases sa atmosphere.
One of the most significant impacts of the climate crisis is the warming of the planet. This is causing sea levels to rise, as the heat causes the polar ice caps to melt. As a result, coastal communities around the world are at risk of flooding and other natural disasters. The climate crisis is also leading to more extreme weather events, such as more frequent and severe heat waves, droughts, and storms. These events can have a devastating impact on people's lives.
Climate crisis, in general, is also a social crisis. Kay tungod nga, dili lahiya isolated na environmental issues alone. Ada nga da an great nga social divide. Ada an dako nga gap har reach nga na poor nga nakaka-affect kung paano kita mag-adapt, nga paano kita mag-mitigate and effects hiton climate change. People on the marginalized sectors, the urban poor communities, hera ang directly affected. Ngayon worse is that kapag na-apektuhan hera, makuri ha era makarecover. Sometimes nga ni diri hera nakaka-recover at all. Ada kita nga dahan noson nga okay, nakatindog na utrot o sa nga community. Pero if you look at the lens of the people who are marginalized before such disaster, still they are living under poverty.
This is where climate justice comes in. Climate justice is the idea that those who have contributed the least to the climate crisis should not bear the greatest burden of its consequences. It involves ensuring that everyone, regardless of their income or background or race, has the opportunity to thrive in a healthy environment. Reducing one's own carbon footprint is an important step towards addressing the climate crisis, but it is not enough on its own. The scale of the problem requires more comprehensive solutions that address the root causes of climate change.
If we want to help, dapat i-realize natin ang bigger picture. Like, tackling climate crisis is not just about tackling what's happening to the environment. It's about tackling what is the root cause, why in the first place people remain victims of climate change or climate crisis even if reoccurring ito na mga types of disasters. Makukuha lang natin yon if we immerse ourselves to the victims themselves.
Major emitters, such as fossil fuel companies and industrial polluters, have played a significant role in driving the climate crisis, and they must be held accountable for their actions. This means demanding that these companies and countries take responsibility for their emissions and transition to cleaner, more sustainable practices, such as reducing energy consumption and using public transportation can make a difference, but we must also work together to demand accountability from those who have contributed the most to the problem.
Ang Earth, hindi siya naka-divide into countries na, for example, okay, ito yung sky ng Philippines, inyo lang yan. Yung i-emit nyo ng carbon dioxide, sa inyo lang mapupunta. No, it is scattered all throughout the Earth. So meaning, even if ang Philippines mag-initiate siya ng mga environmental campaigns, it won't hold any effect at all or negligible ang kanyang effect if countries who are responsible for the major production of carbon dioxide are not held accountable, if they don't do their part. The contribution of Philippines is just very small in terms of global carbon dioxide emissions.
While the need for quick, massive action to address the climate crisis is clear, there are several challenges to make this happen. One of the biggest challenges is the lack of political will to take bold, decisive action. Many governments and businesses are unwilling to take the necessary steps to reduce emissions and transition to clean energy due to concerns about cost and potential impacts on the economy. Additionally, there are powerful interests such as fossil fuel industry that are resistant to change and have significant influence over policy decisions.
The climate change issue is also political. It's not just social, and it's also economic in general. Kasi feel natin yung effects in terms of economy ng climate crisis.
There is a lack of public awareness and understanding of the gravity of the climate crisis. Many people are unaware of the scale of the problem or the urgent need for action, which makes it difficult to mobilize support for change. Addressing these challenges will require a combination of education, activism, and policy changes at all levels, from the individual to the global. What's that impetus that we're looking for or that we're waiting for para this will happen as soon as possible?
I hate the idea ng experience is the best teacher. But that is actually the case in most people. You will never fight for something unless you experience it yourself. For most people, kailangan mo din nilang ma-experience before sila matuto. And I think, while that is actually true, at some point, helpful siya, harmful din siya in such a way na bakit tayo maghihintay pa na mangyari yun. I think, matagal-tagal to na process. Yun yung gusto ko rin i-point out sa mga climate activists, sa mga environmentalists. This is a battle of knowledge. Rather than telling them na ito yung gawin dahil alam ko yung tama dahil nag-research ako about ito, malaking challenge sa atin na maging mapangahamig dun sa ating strategies. This is a constant battle of knowledge. This is a constant clash of ideas. And the challenge to draw the sharpest line of analysis on issues is to make people believe what is the right thing, meaning to influence them. So if papangunahan natin sila na mali sila, bobo sila, tanga sila for thinking differently than we think, then we will antagonize them and they will draw themselves away from us. Mas mapasin nila, kontrabida tayo, hindi na sila makipag-usap sa atin. Pero in this case, kailangan natin ng all people in order to make things happen.
To overcome these challenges, it is crucial that we educate more people about the gravity of this problem and the urgent need for action. We cannot afford to wait until we experience the full force of the crisis to take action. The time to act is now. By joining together in collective action, we can advocate for climate justice and demand the swift, decisive action that is necessary to protect our planet and create a more just and sustainable future for all. Let us protect this planet because there's no planet